Okay, so I recently picked up the Revlon Ultimate All-in-One palette. I saw this right when I put it out on the display. I was like, I want that right now. So I kept walking back and forth, like maybe a week. I kept like just seeing it, and I finally picked it up. It was $21.99, and I'll let you know about the price at the end of like, was it worth it, how much I actually paid for it and stuff. So the compact looks like this. It's very, very cute. It looks like a clutch bag, which my boyfriend pointed out. I had no idea. I didn't realize that. Open it up here, you do get a big old mirror, and then you get 24 eyeshadows. And it does say here that they are the Color Stay eyeshadows. I have a few of these Color Stay, like the old compacts. What are these? Quads that they came out with. I wish these would come back. This is one of my favorite things ever that was discontinued, and I loved these. So when I saw that these were Color Stay eyeshadows, I was like, oh my god, please be the same ones in the quads. I would say they are similar, but this formula I love. These are also very good, but not identical. The shadows are very hit and miss, I think, but for the most part, I think they're very good for beginners and people that don't want something that's hard to use. You're just starting with eyeshadow. You don't want to get something that's very frustrating or patchy or streaky, or it doesn't blend, or the pigment is so crazy that you went over the top really fast. I do have this on my eyes today. I did use the purple one there. I used that one. I used the gold on the top. I used that one and that one under the brow bone. And I really liked what I came up with. I have used all of these except the black one here, which that goes unused in most of my palettes. I just don't really love black eyeshadow. But I think this is very beginner friendly. If you are just starting with eyeshadow, you know, like I just said, you don't want to get frustrated right away and then hate eyeshadow. This is a good choice, I think. And I think this is a nice gift as well, because it comes with a lot of other things for people that just want to start trying out different stuff. Some of the shades, like this one and that gold one, like I said, go on better with your finger. I am someone who puts on most of my eyeshadow with my fingertips anyway, so that's initially how I went into this palette, was putting them on with my finger. If you're a brush only person, I feel like you might be a little frustrated with this palette because there is some fallout if you try to use a brush. Or if you're using a brush right away, it's going to be a little less pigmented, and you're going to feel like there's no pigment, where's the pigment, and you start feeling frustrated. So this is definitely a fingertip or the sponge tip kind of palette. I would say absolutely use a primer. I'm not a big primer person, but I always go over my eyelids with some concealer just to kind of give them something to not to stick to or cling to, because I don't want it to make it sound like you have to have sticky eyelids. But a primer does something a little different than be sticky or clingy. But it helps these kind of, you know, be one with your eye, and for lack of a better term there. But yeah, I really like the shadows. They're very beginner friendly, like I said, but on the bottom here, it pops out, and you have 4 blushes, a bronzer, a highlight, and 4 of their lustrous lipsticks. I do like that there's a little gap here, so you're not like touching those, because that one there has a lot of powder fallout, and it hasn't made it over to the lipsticks yet. As far as the bronzer goes, I do have the Bronzilla from Revlon, and I really, really enjoy this a lot. It is a little bit deeper of a tone than the one that's in the palette. The one in the palette needs a lot of building up. I'm going to say it 1,000 more times, but this is so beginner friendly because you can build it up to what you want. If you have never tried a bronzer before, you don't want to start with something that you touch once and it's like, oh my god, I hate bronzer now because it's so over the top all the time. This is really good. You can build it up to what you want. It looks really natural. I really enjoy that. Obviously, it's only one shade. It's not going to work for everybody. I would say fair to light skin tones. I wouldn't even go with medium with this, but I enjoy it because I have a skin tone that can fit it, I guess. The highlight is very natural. This is a highlight that someone's going to say, your skin looks so nice. They're not going to say, I love your highlight. You know what I mean? Because they can't see the highlight on your face. They're just going to see your skin. I really enjoy this. I do have it on today, and I really liked how natural but still glowy it made my skin look, but not with glitter or anything. It just kind of meshed with my skin. Of course, only light, I would say fair to light skin tones. I wouldn't go with medium. I think it would look ashy in dark. Of course, I don't think we'll get away with that. As far as the blushes go, the #1 most underrated product at the drugstore by far are the Revlon powder blushes. I have a lot of these. I love them. They are the #1 most underrated overlooked product, like by far. They're my freaking favorite. I love them so much. So when these were described just as Revlon powder blush, I was like, I know I'm gonna like them. These aren't identical to the compacts because the compacts have a nice pigment to them, but it's not over the top. But you don't have to build it up like crazy to get any color to show. These ones, you got to build up quite a bit. This one right here I thought was going to be really intimidating because it's such a deep kind of shade, but I put it on today and it took a lot to build up to blend, but I thought that that was totally fine. I don't mind building up my blushes. I kind of enjoy that. This one here, exact same thing, very neutral kind of nude shade, but it did take a lot of building up. The pink was the one that had the most pigment out of all four. Didn't have to go crazy with the building up, but it was a really nice like pink blush, and I really enjoyed that. This one here, when I first opened this, I thought that was an eyeshadow. I was like, why is there so much glitter on it? Before it's used, it looks like an eyeshadow. Like, that's too much glitter. Once the glitter's kind of dusted away, it does look very similar to NARS's Orgasm blush, but like maybe a hair deeper. It looks similar, that's about it, because you put it on and the shade is very nice, but the shimmer is so over the top. Over the top. You'll put this on just as your blush and it will just be glitter, I mean everywhere. It's gonna be glitter bomb all over your face. If you like that look, go for it. I tended to put this on as like a blush, like on top of my blush, just as a little shimmer, or even just as like a little darker highlight. But yeah, that one as a blush was a little over the top with the glitter. As far as the lipsticks go, they did say that these were the super lustrous lip colors, but they don't have any shades on them. And I wish they had said which shades they were in their regular line, because, you know, if you really like these, you might want to go buy a stick like to keep with you. But they don't put it. Like, I looked all over the box, I looked at the ingredient list, I looked at the back of this. They don't say the shades, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Because I'm not even a lipstick person, and I freaking loved that one right there. It's awesome. This one right here is a very nice baby pink. That one's very red. This one here looks like it's very deep and dark, but when you put it on, it's very berry. Like, you put it on with your finger. Maybe I could kind of show you. Like, look at that shade when you put it on. It looks very scary in the palette, but when you put it on your lips, it just looks like really berry kind of stained looking. You know what? Let me just swatch all of these. Why not? So I'm, like I just said, I'm not a lipstick person, but I thoroughly enjoyed the formula of these. I really, really liked, I have my freaking scab there. Why am I showing you swatches on this hand? Anyway, so yeah. These had a lot of pigment there. This one is just a very nice neutral, nude, almost bronze shade, and I really loved it. This one here is just a baby pink. So my overall thoughts on this, I'm enjoying this palette a lot. I like the idea of it having a little more building up to do. It's very beginner friendly. Sometimes just the act of going over with a brush over and over is kind of nice on your face. So if you like that, you like products that aren't over pigmented or easy to use, you'll like this. For $21.99 though, I think it's, I think that's kind of a lot. I only paid $11.99 because I did have some points built up. But I mean, for $21.99, I think that that is kind of a lot. I would say maybe I would pay full retail $13.99. I'd say $13.99 is a good price for that. And I think it's a very nice gift for a beginner and someone who just wants to try out a bunch of different stuff and get a taste for how Revlon products are, because I think the lipsticks in there are very comparable to the regular line. The blushes I don't think are the same as their regular blushes. The eyeshadows are similar but not the same as the Color Stay eyeshadows. And well, what am I missing? Bronzer and highlight, again, they're similar but not the same. So yeah, those are my thoughts. That's all I gotta say about the Revlon Ultimate All-in-One Palette. And I don't regret buying it. I'm glad I have it. I'm still using it and I'm still enjoying it. But for $21.99, it's kind of expensive. And that's all I got. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.